Welcome to this Zentangle Quickie. My name is Heather Hartwick Gladden. I'm a certified Zentangle teacher. And today we're going to take a look at the brand new tangle called Siggy's Flower from Cassie Armstrong. So today, at the time of this recording, it is a Thursday, which means it's Tangle Time Day. And if you aren't aware, uh, every Thursday I do two sessions, and they're free. And we take a look at a tangle, maybe two, just depending on the tangle. And we explore it, we have fun. It's an amazing time. But when one of our Tangle Addicts community members comes up with a tangle, does the deconstruction and the step outs and everything, we like to celebrate it. So we roll out the red carpet and have a world premiere event, and that's what we did today. If you would like to participate in those and just the regular Tangle Time sessions, because generally you never know what I'm going to pull out of my hat to do, take a look at in the description section is a link to my website. And also, if you happen to be on Facebook, you could follow me there. But on my website, you'll see in the menu, the ginormous menu, classes/sessions, and on there, so you can follow my book. I have not been good at putting out posts ahead of time for classes on my blog, but there's other ways to follow me besides Facebook. There's Eventbrite, that's a free service. Meetup.com, that's also free. But every Thursday you can count on, unless I say you can count on it with the asterisk that it could change. It just, if I have something in my schedule that I cannot move, which is very rare, because it's a priority to do Tangle Time. All right, so enough of that for now. Well, we would love to have you join us. So this is a really, really neat tangle, and I've changed up the Cassie's order just a little bit, because we were finding it a little bit easier to start with. It's like one of the ending steps. So we're going to do that here, and but you can take a look at Cassie's step out there in the description section under For More Inspiration. And yeah, so like I said, I originally didn't do it, but then after we were playing with it, I'm like, nope, yeah, let's just as another option for doing this. So what we're going to do is put some seed shapes. Kind of do a north, south, blah, that's a little off. North, south, then turn your tile and do north and south again. So that way you have a north, south, east, west type of thing. And these can be filled in. I might fill these in afterwards. Yeah, I probably will. Okay, because then the next shape, this is how Cassie started it. And if you would rather do it this way, of course. So it starts off with kind of a like a teardrop or a flux. It would be Rick's flux shape. That's hard all to say. So I'm going to start here, like towards the tip of this, and come out a ways, and then it's almost like the shape is hugging the teardrop, and then we're gonna, or hugging the seed shape. I'm gonna turn my tile because it's easier for me to do it this way, and we're gonna do one going the opposite direction, like so. So that's what you want to have end up, and I've made my things too tight, but that's okay. So around each seed shape, we'll do this. And you notice I didn't change my tile position, and it got a little wonky there, but it's okay. Well, and while I'm here, I might as well do it this direction. Some days, well, you know what? It's actually nice when no two are alike. It shows that a human being did it. And then what's neat is, it's almost like, don't pay attention to, don't get hung up on when one thing kind of goes south a little bit. Just keep going, because then I'm looking at the camera or at my screen. I'm like, well, that doesn't look so bad. Actually, although I did not check let me just adjust the focus here. It wasn't your eyes. All right. I always try to do that beforehand. Okay. Then, in the corners, we're going to do some seed shapes as well. And so, kind of like right from the corner. And then, of course, you can make all of these components as big or as small as you want. And you can get some really interesting and different effects based on that. And because on our Tangle Time sessions, we had a lot of everything. And that's what's so fun about what we do, is because we're just exploring a tangle. It's not, everybody isn't, that's the only thing that we're all doing the same, but the instruction is go have fun with it. And, and then it's so neat to see what everybody comes up with. And we get some really great ideas from that. And if you want to see all of that result, go to my website. Again, link is in the description, and sign up for my blog. And when I get the recap done and sent out, then you will get it. All right. And then from here, once you have all of those corners done, and again, all of these sizes are completely up to you. Then we're going to put more seed shapes coming from the center. I'm going to make these ones a little bit smaller. Like that. And it's funny, what I was doing when I was first doing this tangle, playing with it, I didn't look close enough at what Cassie did, and I couldn't get these little guys to I like the way she had them, and I couldn't get them to work right. And I'll show you in a minute. I was tucking the center one a little too close in here, and then the other ones didn't fit as I was wanting them to. It still turned out just fine. But sometimes it's really good to, well, of course, play, and then sometimes through the play, then you're like, oh, and then you take a deeper look at something, and then, oh, that's what happened. Okay, so I'm going to fill these in because this needs some contrast. Ooh, and this one, I think I'm gonna do it, but I'm gonna put the shine in the center. That will be nice. I didn't do that yet on mine. And to leave what we call the shine, as you see, I did a scribble on either side of the center that helps me remember that that's what I'm doing. I don't get carried away with the pen, and I can always come back. I like the jagged edge of it, because then it kind of it adds to the shine look. Sometimes I forget. And this is just a way to do this without using a white, a gel pen. Although you can come back and add afterwards. And then when you do that, it's just like when I do, I'll leave the shine on an orb, and I'll add a circle and then fill in around it. And then because you can go back and add the gel pen, or, if you're using white charcoal or whatever, because then it's not competing with the black ink. So sometimes it's kind of nice to do that. All right. Yeah, and so this is the basic tangle. Now, I have to, because it's in my nature to do my favorite thing in the whole world, and add the line dot dot in the center. And and actually, as you look, I'm going to keep my eyeball on this one right here that looks like a poor deflated balloon, because the idea with this, and the reason that I like it so much, is it just adds this neat finishing touch. I'm going to do that one last. That adds some character and can turn something that looks like that into, you just don't notice it so much. It's a really neat effect. Oh, and while I'm doing stuff with the pen, I didn't do this on ones earlier either. So I think on these seed shapes, I'm just going to do 3 lines coming out. And when you do this, it's kind of like a flicking motion, like that, because you can see how it like tapers off, versus making a deliberate line, which would not have that tapering off look. And you can still kind of go slow on this, and I recommend that because sometimes I'm like, woo, it goes a little too wild. Like that. Although that's not too bad. Sometimes I like the center one to be a little bit longer. But what's neat about this is you're adding, it's like shading with the pen. Adding hash marks in there. Yeah, neat. And, just debating on these guys. Needs more contrast, so let's fill those in. I'm going to do the outside ones first. Because part of me was thinking, well, I could, not do all of them. I did that on another one, and so we can see what that looks like. Although I didn't do the shine on any of the... Well, I did one that I did in with adding some color to it. But that's just different. Pen got away. Oh yeah, I kind of like that. We'll just leave that center one. I'm just going to put one line up. It needs something. It can't just sit there. There we go. Yeah, like that. Okay. And then we can add a little bit of graphite. Let's do it on these shapes here. So where they come together, and then a little bit on the outside. You could put graphite over these pen marks too. That's up to you. Sometimes it's a nice extra. Try to get this just so it fits right in there without having it go outside of. It went outside a little bit there because it was so thin. Oh yeah, that looks neat. Love it. What a fun tangle. Like I said, we had just a ball with this, and it was great fun. And let's see, let me show you what we did. Let me raise this up a little bit because I got bigger tiles here. And well, this one I just need to do some smudging of the graphite. I can do that while I'm talking. So this one, Cassie showed where you could use this in a grid format. And one of the things about Zentangle is, we don't do underlying grids that then need to be erased. Kind of part of the philosophy. And there's reasoning behind that, and and if you are interested in some of the whys behind why we do what we do, Rick and Maria have 2 books. The first one that they wrote was the Book of Zentangle, and that's it's a nice introduction, explains a lot of these things. And then they have the Zentangle Primer book, which goes into a lot more detail, but also walks you through tangling and has some really neat exercises. I need to go through some of them, take a little deeper dive in them myself. Maybe I'll formulate some classes around those because they're really, really good. And that's nice. And I like to make my grids this one, with a little curve in it, just to add some character and to make it fun. But this is where I mentioned you could put a formal grid line around, and it wouldn't have to necessarily be in pencil. It could be in pen, and like if you were to imagine, like this was solid on the outside. you could certainly do that and have a lot of fun with that. I like this as well. Now, one thing in Cassie's sample, she shared this, so I ended up not paying attention to that, obviously, and it doesn't matter because it looks fine either way. But that's another option. You could do this where you do it full, or have the grid parts. They can share um, that seed, the seeds in the center, or that would be on the grid line, we'll say. So really, really neat. And then I did a giant size one because as we were going through things on the call, because sometimes, on the call, I always like to make sure that everybody's getting it and understanding. And that sometimes means, oh, let's start over. I'll start a new one. I don't care. And so I did one, but giant size, so that way it was easy to see. And then on our evening call, I decided to do this on a tan tile and add some color to it. And it turned out really fantastic. I don't know that I'm going to do shading. Sometimes shading with graphite. I could do around the outsides, but sometimes it's just a different look, and I kind of like it. So really, really neat, super neat tangle, and Cassie did a fantastic job. So if you enjoyed this, and I hope you did, would love to have you click like, and if you liked it enough to see more, click on the subscribe button. Also know that, and maybe you do already, but if you don't like I don't like my phone blowing up, and I don't know if YouTube does this. There's another platform that whenever I sign up for a new subscription, then all of a sudden I'm getting emails from that one. So just check the notification bell, and or if I end up putting this on another platform, check the notifications just to make sure. If you don't like to have your devices blowing up and your email blowing up, make sure to just say no, because I'd rather have you be a subscriber and get no notifications than to be like, oh, gee whiz, she posts a lot. So, because I do post daily sometimes, and I try not to do more than 3 posts in a day. But when I'm doing recaps, and especially as I'm getting caught up on some, there might be more. But I can hold off on them and do just put the 2 recaps in one day. Anyway, so I'd love to have you be a subscriber. Again, check out the description section for links to the step outs, links to connect with me if you'd like. If you happen to be on Facebook, you can. I mentioned you can follow me there, but what I neglected to say is that we have this fantastic group of Tangle Addicts, and we have a private Facebook group. And if you'd like to hang out with a bunch of Tangle Addicts, we would love to have you. So, click the link there. Join us to join the club. I have like 3 or 4 membership questions to gain entry. So just so you're aware of that. And I think that's it. So thanks so much for watching. And I wish you happy tangling.